Okay, so our goal today is to get started with compliance in Blade Logic. There's two different kinds of compliance, snapshot and policy-based. Snapshot-based compliance uses the configuration of a golden server that is exactly the configurations we're looking for, while policy-based compliance works from a set of rules that can define a range of acceptable configurations. Today we'll be working with policy-based compliance. So Blade Logic ships with a number of out-of-the-box policies for a range of regulatory and security requirements, including SOX, PCI, HIPAA, DISA, and CIS. Most organizations use these as a starting point to match their own customized versions of policies. These policies are fairly comprehensive and cover many of the compliance conditions you might want to check for, ranging from minimum password length to whether certain baseline software is installed to what kind of services may be enabled. Here's the other important thing. These out-of-the-box policies include sample remediation instructions where appropriate, scripts or packages to fix common security misconfigurations. Between ready-to-go policies and remediation instructions, you can get started very quickly and be showing results in minutes. So let's get started. So we've already loaded our compliance content during the previous video. Now let's go measure compliance on one of our servers. Let's browse to the component templates workspace, go to the DISA compliance content folder, expand it, and browse down into the Windows Server 2008 policy. So there's the policy. Let's open it up and look at one rule. So there's multiple tabs across the bottom. Let's go over into the compliance section. Let's look in password policy, and let's look at the minimum password length. So under password policy configuration, here's the password length rule. It looks at a given server configuration, in this case a local security policy, and evaluates it for both local and effective configuration. Basically what the configuration actually does after group policy is applied. It's currently set to 14 characters, but changing the policy to fit our standards is as easy as typing in a new value. Isn't that easy? So today I'm going to audit just one server. So let's create a component for that server. We do that by right-clicking on the template and doing New Component. Come down to the server section, hit the ... and let's go find our server. There it is, Win08 demo. Hit Finish, and the component will now be created. To audit the server, we need a compliance job. Let's right-click on the template and select Compliance. Let's call this job Test DISA Windows Compliance Audit. After hitting Next, we see that our template is selected there, and now we can go select servers. For our purposes, let's just go select the one server we're using. Hit Next. Here's where remediation gets done, notifications, and hit Execute Job Now. What that's going to do is that's going to run it immediately. We could also schedule it to run weekly or monthly, basically on whatever frequency we need to go out and do our compliance audits. Alright, so let's look at the results. Let's browse to the job. Right click, show results. So it shows us a run. There's a green check mark. Obviously didn't have any problems on this run. If there were, we'd get a different icon. Browse down into it, look in the server view. You see for Win08 demo, we're about 93 compliant rules, 188 non-compliant, call it about 33%. And as we expand down into the tree, we basically see all the different rule sets and how we did on them. So if we right click, if we click here and go down into password policy configuration, we go look at the detailed results. You see that for the minimum password length, obviously it's in red and it's bold, we're non-compliant. We can double click on it, and we can see that our desired value is 14 and our actual value is 0, therefore we're not compliant. It's okay not to match the policy perfectly at this point. Most organizations customize their out-of-the-box policies a bit to match their environment, or will need to document specific exceptions. And in this case, my generic Windows 2008 box hasn't been hardened or secured at all. So we could at this point go dump out the results in HTML or CSV format if we want to do. All right, so that's a quick assessment And if we wanted to, we can go, let's go explore the compliance results. So we got to find a folder to go put it in, and call this test DISA Windows Compliance Audit. This will take a few seconds to run. And we can now go look in temp at our DISA Windows Compliance Audit results. We can see that for 281 rules, 93 passed, 188 failed, 1 failed server. And then you can get detailed information on all of the different rules, what the conditions were, and why we passed or failed. Real easy to export and send over to your security team. So a great place to start. Compliance results in minutes, as they say. And in the next episode, we'll learn how to set this up to run against more machines and on a scheduled basis. So stay tuned.